now into the final part of Crisis on Infinite Earths.
The Legends episode.
The Legends episode. Because that was the Arrow episode. Part 4 was the Arrow episode. Now we're getting into the Part 5, which is the Legends episode.
Oh, man.
And it begins with Kara, Supergirl, waking up in her apartment, and her sister Alex is there. And
almost laser beaming her sister's face.
Like, oh, shit.
Which I understand. Like, I'm not making fun of her, but it's just like, holy shit. Like, what a fucking terrible.
And I'd be like, oh, shit, guys, we got to restart the universe one more time.
Yeah.
Restart my sister's face.
Who's got a piece of the Book of Destiny? I just got to draw a little face.
Yeah. So it seems to be at a point before the crisis happened, like within like the past day before crisis kicked off. And she's late to like a press meeting with Nia, aka Dreamer, and it's a press meeting for Lex Luthor to receive the hero
Nobel Peace Prize.
Nobel Peace Prize for being the best hero.
Yeah. And he gives like this weird fucking speech of like, I don't have superpowers, but I'm still pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm still better than you motherfuckers. Like it's like a very cocky fucking speech.
It's passively arrogant.
Yeah. And everybody's like, wow.
Oh my god, he's so great.
What a
he's
good
so awesome.
speech. And it's like, he just shit on everybody.
Yeah.
He just called everybody a bag of balls. Like, what the fuck?
So it turns out that I don't know if it's more like, did they explain it? Is it more Book of Destiny stuff, or is it something he did at the at the Antiverse or with the Monitor? I can't remember.
I don't think they
Something
really
happened.
explained it. It might be something that we might have to watch Supergirl for. Which,
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh no. Oh my god.
What is this voice?
Somebody's gonna.
No. That's why it does smell Supergirl something to. I don't want to watch it.
Oh no, this is truly terrible. This is genuinely horrifying, you guys. I don't know what's happening to Vincent.
I like Melissa Benoist, but I don't know if I like the show.
By the way, in the beginning of part 4, I just gotta put this out there. She looks super cute. She was like, she's already pretty super cute, but like,
No, she's a good-looking
like
woman.
the cuteness factor was like amplified in the beginning of that episode.
You ever see that thing from Crisis on Earth X that outtake where like it's Oliver as like Earth X Oliver, and he's talking to Reverse Flash right before they're gonna do the surgery on Supergirl to remove her heart in Crisis on Earth X, and they stop in the middle of the scene, Stephen Amell and Tom Cavanaugh, and I think Tom Cavanaugh's like, Melissa's asleep, and then Stephen looks back, he's like, oh yeah, and Tom Cavanaugh's like, can we get the camera on her? She literally fell asleep in the middle of the scene. Because during these crossover events, they're working ridiculous hours.
Oh,
So
man.
all of a sudden they get real quiet, and like Stephen Amell like walks up to her. She's asleep on the medical bed, and he looks at the camera, and he's like, 3, 2, 1. It's crossover season in. Melissa fell asleep. Da-da-da. And she wakes up, starts laughing her ass off. Tom Cavanaugh joins in, and he's doing his Tom Cavanaugh thing, and then at the end, Stephen Amell high five, like, yeah, it's hilarious. It's fucking great.
That's super funny.
Yeah. So anyway, back to part 5. So all of a sudden,
we got that, yeah.
So everyone thinks Lex Luthor is like this planetary level hero. Everyone, like she even confronts Alex. It's like, what is it? Like Lex Luthor's a sociopath. It's like, how dare you say that about Lex? He stood up for you so many times. Lena too. What's wrong with you, Kara? And then Martian Manhunter shows up, and she's like, do you like Lex too? And he's like, no, I know what's going on. Only the Paragons remember how things are. The universe has been restored in more than one way, but only the Paragons seem to remember what happened.
With everything with Crisis and the antimatter wave and everything
everything that happened. Yeah. But anyway, Weather Witch shows up. Supergirl goes to confront her, not knowing who the hell she is. But then Flash shows up, takes care of her, zips in, zips out.
Zip-zap, yeah.
And she's like, Barry,
how'd you get into my Earth?
Yeah, what are you doing on Earth? And she's like, I'm not on your Earth, you're on my Earth. And all of a sudden they're like, look at her like, wait. They look around as if looking around would be like, wait, are the buildings different? Like, what's it? It turns out, and this is from the comics, and we were wondering about to what degree they were going to do it.
Yeah.
Some of the universes have merged.
Yeah.
Just to make a long story short, Earth 1, a.k.a. the Arrow, Flash, Legends Earth, has merged with Earth 38, a.k.a. Supergirl's Earth. as well as I'm probably getting the number wrong. Black Lightning's Earth, which I think is was Earth 73. I want to say that was its.
That was the year that the comic book came out.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Probably. I would assume.
Because we see Black Lightning later in the episode. So now,
everybody's on one Earth.
Yeah, and we're starting to question, like, wait a second, does that mean there's literally one universe now? And because if so, that means the Titans should be here, along with Swamp Thing, along with Stargirl, along with 89 Batman, and, like, is Brandon Routh Superman going to show up? But no, we find out later that only 3 of the universes from the original multiverse have merged. The other ones all went back to the way they were.
They all went to their own thing. And then they did a very upsetting thing. They canonized that horrific fucking Green Lantern movie. They fucking canonized it. It's now canon. It's real, you guys.
It's part of the multiverse.
It's fucking there. It exists. We can't blank it out of our memories anymore. Like, we have to fucking experience that no plot piece of shit movie that, like, I watched, and the whole plan that me, Zach Funk, and Derek Minto had was like, oh, you know, it'd be a great time if we just fucking got sloshed while we watched this movie and then like fell asleep on the couch. Like, that would be a really good time. But that movie is so bad that it was impossible for us to get drunk to, because we were just confused the whole time. Yeah. And most of the time our mouth was just open. So they fucking canonized that shit, which I'm very upset about. I don't know whose fucking idea it was, but they will be getting a strongly worded letter and just like toenail clippings in the fucking mail.
God damn. I'm
very upset about it, Vincent.
I can see that.
I'm so mad.
Wow.
Like, when they panned over, and I was like, "No, what is?"
Because at first we were like, okay, maybe they're gonna like integrate Diggle, like the Diggle of, like, this is the universe where Diggle is the Green Lantern.
Is the Green Lantern? Yeah, I thought they were gonna do that.
But no, they're like, wait, show us Diggle. No, it's just footage from the Green Lantern movie.
Nope. And I was just like, what the fuck? I like had a seizure when that fucking happened. It was terrible. Oh, what an upsetting moment.
Yeah.
That's my biggest complaint to this whole thing.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the Legends episode. And
so it's going to be
everyone's
ridiculous.
now catching up to speed. Everyone's talking to everybody. Anybody who's important enough that didn't remember Crisis because of the multiverse reboot, Martian Manhunter just goes up and psychics some memories back into their head.
Touches their brain.
Yeah. So Ray's up to speed, and so are the members of Team Arrow. And we have this moment where Sarah goes to the bunker, the Arrow bunker, and to see Diggle, Renee, and Dinah. And they just found out that Oliver's dead, and like, Diggle's crying fucking fountains, and Renee and Dinah do. And they have
another really fucking great moment, by the way.
It was good.
It's such a good, real moment.
Solid. Yeah, I got no complaints.
Yeah.
Sarah's like, well, the universe restarted, so maybe Oliver's here, and like Diggle's like, we did everything, talked to everyone who could check everything.
Nothing.
He's not here.
Yeah,
he's gone. So yeah, but then that's interrupted because the return of one of the most powerful beings in the Arrowverse, Giant Bebo, returns.
Motherfucking Bebo.
Was that in National City, or it was in National City?
I think it was in National City.
Yeah.
No.
Star City?
Maybe.
I'm not used to seeing Star City during the day, so I don't know.
There's so few scenes with Star City during the day. It's almost like the sun never comes up in that city.
All these shows are filmed in the same city, so after a while you start to like, oh, that's that street where they had that thing.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's all the same shit.
This is where the Flash fought that radiation guy. I remember that. I remember that lamppost. There we go.
You can still see some of the scorch marks on there.
Yeah. So they're battling Bebo, Supergirl, Barry, Ray. In fact, Ray takes a quick selfie because it's the Legends episode.
Yep.
You can find that selfie online, by the way. It's great. It's lovely. Is
it like a real selfie?
It's on. Well, I mean, they photoshopped it together, but it's out there. Like the image that Ray took is out there.
That's adorable. The other thing I was upset about is we didn't get any Ray and Nate moments. There was no real Ray and Nate bromance moment, which to me is like every fucking Legends episode needs that shit.
Oh yeah.
But so they got the Bebo, and they're trying to stop it. But Rory shows up because he's doing a book signing.
Oh yeah. Heatwave. Yeah. Mick Rory. He's doing a book signing, and he's just like,
You can call me Rebecca if you want.
That's a really good fucking Rory.
Thank you.
He has to
Give me the beer, Boy Scout.
He's just stiffing up.
You interrupted my book signing. Burn, you fluffy bastard.
That's a really good Rory.
I should cosplay it.
You should. That's a really fucking good.
Do I have the?
You have to.
I have to shave off the mane.
Shave the head. Yeah,
It's
you
the
gotta
only,
shave
it's
the
the only
head.
thing that keeps my respect. But yeah, so they battle Bebo, but it turns out it's not really.
It's not a real Bebo.
It's an illusion by Mandark the magician. Was that his name?
I
Not
can't
Mandark.
remember.
That's the bad guy
That's-
from Dexter's Laboratory. Mandark.
Mandark. Yeah. Mandrake was an old magician comic from like the 30s, but it wasn't him. I think it was that magician that the Flash fought that came from the future.
If it is, it's a different actor. That wasn't the same.
Is
actor.
it okay? I thought it was the same.
Different actor, different outfit.
Guy.
So I think it's a separate magician-based villain. He was just robbing a bank, and he used the Bebo. Who after they capture him and knock him out, the Bebo liquefies. So
Yeah.
if anyone knows who this character is or how his powers work, please explain how a giant fluffy Bebo illusion was made of Bebo
goo,
goo,
Goobo.
Bebo goo, Bebo goo,
Ugh. Sounds dirty when you do it. That's slow.
Bebo goo.
But yeah, so
Yeah, so that they have that moment. Then later, what's that? What would you want to
fucking
say?
Nash. No, I was gonna bring up Nash Wells because
Nash Wells.
everybody's like really pissed off at Nash Wells.
Yeah, because it's like he released
he
Anti-Monitor.
did. He released the Antimatter. Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about because I'm not Pariah anymore. But then Martian Manhunter does it's like, here's some memories, jackass. Feel bad all over again.
But without all of the cool powers that you got at that one time.
I love it whenever Martian Man, I believe it's David Harwood. I want to say, I feel like I'm messing up the name, but David Harwood's the actor who plays John Jones.
Yeah.
I like it whenever there's a scene where John Jones is angry because David Harwood does angry. It's like he's a paragon of honor. So when someone does something despicable, he's
fucking pissed.
Yeah, I like when David Harwood gets angry. It's great. But here's the other question. Now that because at the time we thought all the universes may have been merged,
Right.
but we only knew 3. So we're like, is this the end of the switching out the Harrison Wells? But no, we know now that there's still other Earths.
We got a couple.
So we'll see. We'll be probably saying goodbye to Nash Wells at the end of this.
I think this might be my least favorite Wells, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Cavanaugh does a good job, as good as he can, because of his role in the show. He's really shown what kind of range as an actor he has, and it's made me respect him a lot.
Oh yeah, he's fucking fantastic.
But this,
I'm just saying, as the character,
Yeah.
I feel like this is my least favorite Wells.
Yeah.
He's kind of a dick.
There's definitely some backstory of his that they're going to get into in the second half of the Flash season because he has something like about his backstory because there's that one character in the Flash right now who's got like the infrared heat blast powers.
Yeah.
I think they indicated in one episode that he knew her counterpart in his universe or something. So there might be some kind of backstory to that. But yeah, he's just like he's a slightly altered version of Harry Wells from season 2 of The Flash. I feel like he's smart. He doesn't want to put up with other people's shit. He just does what he does. But whereas that Harry Wells is just he was frustrated. This one's just cocky. I feel like.
Yeah, that's kind of what I don't like about him is that he's just kind of cocky for the sake of being cocky. Like but then we discover that there's still an antimatter wave. On that Earth specifically.
Sarah and Barry are having a little moment where they're talking about Oliver, they're talking about Laurel, and then a Shadow Demon shows up, and then Shadow Demons are showing up at all the other locations where the heroes are.
They're specifically going after Paragons.
Yeah, they're specifically going to Paragon. So the team unites, and they use and Nash Wells has an anti-monitor detector on his gauntlet thing, and they figure out.
Which was another one of those moments where it's like, okay, fine. We got to keep this fucking show moving.
We got to go. We got to do it. Keep pushing forward. So, yada, yada, yada. The anti-monitor, he's trying to restart the Crisis event. His entire legion of Shadow Demons show up. The heroes come together. Superman shows up. I've been like, where the fuck is Superman this whole time?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, even Renee as Wild Dog, he gets in on it this time.
Which is so fucking funny.
Dual wielding.
It's like this universe-ending event, and they're just like, yeah, pistols, that'll do it.
Hey,
Which is
man.
like, again, like what fucking? They're just such shitty henchmen. These
Like I don't know
Shadow
like how powerful they were in the comics, but
This is some bargain basement fucking henchman shit.
well,
Man.
that way, just call in the fucking army to deal with them, and then have the heroes deal with the Anti-Monitor.
Right? Like, why?
But one thing that pissed me off was that Black Lightning, he's at Star Labs with Killer Frost and Heatwave taking care of the parademons there.
Yeah.
He's not there at the main battle against the Monitor.
I was a little upset about that, too.
Yeah, because he is the star of his own show.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's a main hero. So all the main... Each lead hero of each show should have been there.
I agree with that.
So anyway, they're battling the Anti-Monitor, and they realize, like, okay, he's still this god-level being. We're not making a dent against him. So Ray comes up with an idea to create a shrinking bomb that will, like, if they hit him with this shrinking bomb, it'll cause him to keep shrinking and shrinking forever. He will just continuously get smaller and smaller till you know, whatever.
Into eternity.
Yeah, into eternity. So he goes back to Star Labs. He's building the bomb, and meanwhile, everyone's battling the Anti-Monitor. Like in the comics, well, in the comics he was just big to begin with, but he grows to giant size.
Which is, again, it's a fucking Legends episode,
Yeah.
so something ridiculous needs to happen.
Yeah. So Superman and Supergirl flying around him, hitting him with the heat vision. Everyone else is doing whatever they can, shooting him, blasting him, throwing stuff at him.
It's like, oh, Wild Dog.
Martian Manhunter gets fucking knocked down. Superman gets done a little dirty. Anti-Monitor grabs him, is squeezing him to death. And instead of somebody just kind of going up and, like, I don't know, like Supergirl goes
Prying
up,
open his hands.
prying over his hands and like punching him in the wrist. And he's like, ah, fuck. Ray shrinks him down, so Superman is so small, like he just kind of slips out of his grip.
Yeah.
And-
yeah. I don't mind that. I thought that was kind of cool. That was okay.
Yeah, but at the end he's like,
It's me.
you don't see me. I'm
Yeah, I thought that was
I'm
okay.
super tiny Superman.
I thought that was kind of fun.
It was a little fun, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a fucking
I'm,
Legends
I'm
episode.
probably nitpicking. I'm nitpicking on this. It was,
That's
but anyway,
because you like Tyler Hoechlin that much.
I do. I do. And they've
You
done-
got a little. You have a little bias. For
I
it. You
do.
have a little
I
bias
really
for it.
like him as Superman, and I don't think they've always treated his Superman well. But that's I've just gone over that before many times in other episodes, so I won't go over it again. But anyway, so Ray gets Kara the shrinking bomb, which is like the size of a softball. He says he presses the button to turn on. He says, gives it to Kara. He's like, throw like a girl, and she grabs it and tosses it at the Anti-Monitor. Which I don't know why Kara had to throw, like, if Ray's already got the bomb.
Just toss it.
Yeah, they would add something where like Ray's coming in, he tries to throw it, but the Anti-Monitor like cracks him, and he like gets knocked back, and he drops the bomb, and then Kara comes in and snatches
Sweeps it and throws it. Yeah, that would have been fine.
Like, you already got the thing,
Yeah.
bro. Just throw it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're the atom. You could shrink down so small where the Anti-Monitor can't see you, fly up and just be like, boop. Like,
Yeah, just hit him.
once again, yeah. If you want Supergirl to do it, I get it. Once she's the lead of her show. You want
Yeah.
one of the leads to finish off the Anti-Monitor. I'm fine with that. Flash, White Canary, Supergirl, any of them. I'm fine with that. But it's like, why didn't Ray just throw the fucking thing? Like, anyway.
Yeah, they have. Sometimes they do that weird heavy-handed stuff,
Yeah.
which is just like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, so they do that, and the Anti-Monitor is finally finished off. We see later the President of the United States, which is a new president. I don't know if she is the president of... She's not the president of Supergirl's Earth, I won't say that much. She's either the president that was from Earth 1 or Earth 73.
Yeah, I don't know who she is.
But she gives a speech about what happened, the crisis, and she gives a shout-out to Green Arrow, saying that we've been informed by the other heroes that Oliver Queen gave his life in this to stop this villain. So he literally gets a hero's tribute by the president. And that was very nice. I like that.
Yeah, it was another. Again, like the way they sent off that character was done really, really well.
Yeah, so much respect to Stephen Amell and
Yeah.
Green Arrow.
Yeah.
But there was this one little part of her speech that kind of threw me, because if we've merged the histories of 3 separate Earths, she said in part of her speech that Oliver Queen, Green Arrow, was the first hero. But if we've merged histories, that means either Superman or Black Lightning should be the first public hero.
Maybe they weren't public. Maybe they were a little bit more covert about things.
Superman?
Black Lightning probably.
Black Lightning I could kinda see.
maybe, but it would kind of make sense that maybe Clark Kent didn't want to use his powers until he saw somebody else doing it.
If that's
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm honestly though, but with the way that they're kind of building this universe, I am fine with that. And it also like it goes along with the history of the universes itself.
Yeah,
because
well, I mean, I get it because
so-
Arrow was the first show of this, so
Right.
like he's the first hero in that sense. It just like I guess what I'm saying is at the end of the day, I'm really going to interested to see how they explain these combined histories because this is a flashpoint on steroids. Now, when anything doesn't make any sense, they can just
it's
like Crisis did it.
it.
Crisis did it. I'm really going to see how they're going to explain the Lex thing. Like, do they have to get the Book of Destiny back to fix that?
I don't know. That's going to be kind of that might be the only fucking reason to watch
yeah.
Supergirl now.
Yeah, because like he was the best part of season 4.
He was. I mean,
John-
everything in season 4 was so heavy-handed, and then like season 5 is fine. It's fine. They're not so heavy-handed with the social justice stuff, but I still feel like the writing on that show isn't as good as it could be, and I also feel like they're not really utilizing. Like Dreamer or Brainy or Martian Manhunter.
Dreamer and Brainy, their entire thing right now is their relationship.
Yeah, and it's very awkward, and like I don't know. I feel like I get it. They're awkward people that are kind of embracing how awkward they are with each other, and that's kind of adorable and cute. But like now they're just like, well, that's the thing that we'll do every episode. It's just like, yeah, but like, can we grow some characters? Like, can we give them development? And I feel like Supergirl it doesn't do that as well as the other shows have. Like the periphery characters don't get as much justice as what they should. And I mean, fine, but if you're gonna build like a sole focus on an individual hero surrounded by a team, you should give the team a little bit of character development so that you can, like they can be good supports. Rather than just like, oh, but things are going to happen.
Yeah, because Mia actually had, I thought, in season 4, Mia, because that's not Mia, Nia. That's going to get confusing for the Arrowverse people.
Yeah.
Nia and Mia.
Dreamer.
Yeah. Dreamer, when they introduced her, honestly, she actually did, her character development in season 4 was good. She was one, next to Lex, she was one of the better things about season 4, because she was introduced. She was like, oh, you have powers. You're an alien. You're transgender. You're afraid to like. I mean, she's come out to her family as transgender, but she hasn't come out to her family about her power. So it's kind of a little like.
That was a little bit of an interesting way to handle that.
Yeah.
I thought that was very nice.
And then she comes out, but like, and her sister is like, oh, it's like, how do you even have these? Like, only women are supposed to have these powers. So how do you have them? And she's like, oh my god, what did I say, right? And then
right.
And she doesn't know what to do with herself, and she becomes a hero. And
but see, in that sense, though, like that was a much better way to handle a social issue. Than
it was very nice.
A bunch of the other shit that they've done. Like the way they handled guns was really bad. The way they handled immigration was really bad.
The gun control episode from season 3 is one of my. I think it's one of the worst episodes they did. Like the Arrow did a gun control episode. It has problems.
Very good job though.
It has a few problems in my opinion, but it did it better than the Supergirl was just like, oh, here's
basically Democrat talking points.
Here's the AR-15, and I put this up like it for me in that episode. I think we talked about this last time. So I'll say it again. It's not a political thing for me. Is that it doesn't make sense for the DEO to put down their weapons. It doesn't.
Yeah, that's the part. It doesn't.
For me, it's the in-universe reason. Yeah. The in-universe reason didn't add up to me.
It's a plot reason. Like you ham-fisted the social. It's like I have no issue with talking about socio-political issues in a TV show of any kind.
I grew up watching fucking Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah, that's all of my stand-up. My entire stand-up is talking about such political. But I try not to fucking beat people over the heads with things, and I don't try to like ham-fist that before a plot or like character development or any of that sort of stuff, which I feel like there was a trend of Supergirl doing that. They put that in front of all of like creating a story arc. So I'm hoping that they don't go down that route And again, this central focus now being like, oh shit, Lex fucked up the universe.
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to move forward from this? Like, that is going to be, I hope if they go down that route, mixing with what they've already set up, that it can be a little bit more interesting of a show.
Yeah.
But the writing has always been kind of weak, in my opinion, in that show.
Yeah. But anyway, to finish off Crisis, you and I could go on about
yeah, we can bitch
where
about this
Jackass is. No, but finish off. So they have this moment where they meet back at the Star Labs research hangar from the Invasion crossover, aka the Hall. What obviously is supposed to become the Hall of Justice. They have a little tribute to Oliver there with his Green Arrow outfit in a glass case, and they light a fire. Barry says something, Kara says something, and Sarah says something in remembrance. They're there with Black Lightning, Batwoman, Superman, and Martian Manhunter.
I will say, Black Lightning had a really nice moment with Barry, I thought, which I am really hoping that they get to do a little bit more in the future.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I like their dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the dynamic that they're building with them is really cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm really hoping that has like the Lightning Bros or something. I don't know.
Right? Yeah.
I'm digging it.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping that they do a little bit more with that. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Like maybe there's like a crime in Freeland and they need like a specialist CSI guy, and Barry comes in. They're like, he's like, Black Lightning's like, I know somebody we can trust, because maybe like there's a corrupt cop and they don't know who to trust, so they need to bring in a CSI. Oh,
that'd be great.
we're fanficking.
I know,
right
we're
now.
fanficking the shit out of this.
After they paid their respects to Oliver, they had that little tribute. Then Barry reveals to them that he has put together, like, basically he pulls this sheet off of these tables and chairs, and it's like the Justice League table.
Yeah, the circle.
Yeah, it's the shield, but it's not the JL on the shield. It's a star, because they're not allowed to say Justice League. The closest they ever came was when Nora said the League, but she didn't say it just because they're not allowed to say Justice League because Warner Brothers won't let them because of the movies.
Because they're turds.
Yeah, so. They'll just be called the League for now, but this is the foundation of the Arrow versus Justice League, which is
Super Friends.
Yeah, the Super Friends, or like they had that one version of the cartoon in the 80s, like the superpowered team, the superpowers team, or something. It was like the third incarnation of the Super Friends.
What?
Well, the Super Friends kept going. They did it started off with the Super Friends, where it was like
I remember that.
Super cheesy, and
Yeah.
eventually they just called it.
Love that show.
Yeah. And eventually I think they just called it the Justice League of America, and then it was like the Super Galactic Guardians, the Superpower. They kept changing the name over the show because they would try to like refresh it every once in a while, bring in new heroes.
We don't need to do that.
The YouTube channel Retro Blasting did a whole video on it. I recommend checking it out. But anyway, so they do it, and they had like this moment where they're all like, they sit down in their chairs, and each one of their chairs has their emblem on it. It's like nice, and they're all looking at each other like, this is really cool. And everyone's like, Barry, good job, man. So I hope the next time we see him in this building, they do it up a little bit more, because it's just basically an empty hangar.
Yeah.
But it's this nice moment. They even have an empty chair for Green Arrow Oliver, which I have a feeling sooner or later Mia's going to sit in that fucking chair. Maybe
even Diggle. Diggle, or somebody from Team Arrow might.
He's going to pull out that old crossbow they built for him a couple seasons back.
Well, and then at the very end,
they hear a monkey, and all of a sudden we see a cage. The cage is broken open, and it says Gleek.
Gleek!
So we got Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twins
are possibly coming in at some point, which I think the Wonder Twins would do best on Legends.
That's what I was thinking too.
Because they're from the campiest, hammiest era of like. So yeah, it would probably work on that.
But it's also the Legends episode that they introduced Gleek in.
Yeah.
So and it doesn't make any sense for them to be. Like, maybe you could fit them into the Flash, but really I think where they fit the best is fucking Legends.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
So then the episode ends, and and that's when we get like the view of all the other universes. We get we see Doom Patrol, we see Swamp Thing, we see Kingdom Come, Brandon Rouse. He's back, thank God, he's alive.
I know, I was so excited, and then he does the little
he
nod to the camera.
Yeah, flies on the space, nods, winks at the camera. And did you notice they changed the emblem?
The emblem.
They
the
took out the
emblem is-
black and put the yellow.
Yep.
So does that mean that when his universe got rebooted,
Everybody came back.
Yeah, like is Lois alive again in his universe? I don't know.
I wonder if that was that was something that happened. Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of Superman's, Tyler Hoechlin Superman, he gets a call from Lois, and she said, "You got to come home." He's like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "You need to talk to your sons."
Yeah,
he's like, "My
got
sons?"
kids. Yeah, he's got 2 fucking kids.
Because at the beginning of Crisis, we were first introduced to their newborn baby, but now because the universes got merged and history changed, now they have 2 sons. Which was brought up a while ago. It was announced that there was that they were casting for 2 teenage boys for this upcoming Superman, and some people were wondering, "Oh my God, are they going to do like the Super Sons?" A lot of people were like, "No. Lois has only been pregnant. This is going to be a baby." Some people were theorizing like, "Oh, maybe it's going to be like Lex and Clark when they're younger. And they're going to do flashbacks." But
no, we're going to do Super Sons, baby.
yeah, so that'll be interesting because the Superman and Lois show. It was just right before Part 4 and 5 came out was like greenlit to air. They did like a pilot episode, but now it's like, locked down. It's definitely going to be on TV, which I'm excited and nervous about that at the same time because as Chris pointed out earlier, I do really enjoy Tyler Hoechlin's Superman.
You're so biased for it.
And Bitsy Tulloch as Lois Lane. Bitsy Tulloch is really great.
She's great. She's a very good Lois Lane.
Yeah.
I feel like she might be the most perfect Lois Lane that we've had so far.
She's really good. I'm really excited to see how that show goes down. I just hope they don't foul it up. I'm just all right. So
Get good writers.
yeah. So this brings us to the end of it. So overall, Crisis on Infinite Earths, the whole thing. Krish, how are you feeling about this? How are you feeling about it?
Parts 1 through 5.
Parts 1, the whole deal. The whole deal.
Once you kind of see the whole thing, some of the stuff that really bothered me about the first 3 parts kind of came together. There's still some moments like introducing the Spectre. I think they could have. That's the biggest thing for me is I think they could have done a much better job and taken a little bit more time introducing the Spectre instead of spending time, Mia hunting the fucking Lazarus Pit or whatever. You could have done the Lazarus Pit thing, but that could have been a short 10-minute thing. It didn't need to be as grandiose as what they made it. That, I think, is my biggest point of contention with all 5 parts is the fact that the Spectre just kind of happens. Other than that, I felt like it was probably the best crossover so far. It's the biggest crossover that they've had so far. And the way that they introduced a bunch of different elements to move the franchises forward was done really well. And the Arrow send-off was also done really well and really respectably. And I think it's a really good, perfect send-off to this character that launched this whole thing. Vincent.
I'll start off by saying I'll disagree that this is the best crossover they've done.
Okay.
For me, that is still Crisis on Earth X, aka the heroes versus their Nazi doppelgangers.
Fair. Also very good crossover.
Yeah, very good crossover. I think overall, what is held this one back once again, I think it's the story is messy in parts. I mean, there's plenty of cool moments. Like I said, fan service, Easter egg, cameos, all this cool stuff. Good character moments, like the moments with Oliver. I know, like I said, when we reviewed the parts 1 through 3, a lot of people were upset by Kevin Conroy being an evil Batman.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but there's been evil Batmans before. Yeah. Like they did the whole Dark Knight's Metal thing in the past few years. We've done Superman evil how many times in the comics, or like immoral or whatever. Like Batman can be immoral. He's not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's not perfect.
He's not perfect, and he's not like incorruptible in every single universe.
If it makes people feel better, like he had plenty of prep time to become evil.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, considering this is supposed to be the crossover event, this is supposed to be Crisis, the big one.
The big one.
They're Avengers Infinity War / Endgame, and there's plenty of, and it's definitely comparable.
There's definitely a lot.
Don't nobody say there's no fair. It's fair. It's fair.
Oh, you went through different points of time in your entire series?
Yeah,
I wonder where that came from.
I gotta say, yeah. Overall, I'm kind of let down. I don't think it lived up to the expectations or the hype. It doesn't mean it wasn't like a total failure. Plenty of cool moments, but it's overstuffed with moments, things, and characters that overall don't have nothing to do with anything. Like once again, it was really cool. Like out of nowhere, Ezra Miller Flash.
That was
was
rad.
cool.
That was fucking cool.
Had nothing to
Cool
do with
moment.
anything.
Cool moment.
We had pervy Jonah Hex in that one episode. Why do we need to take 2 minutes?
But I mean, that whole section was, I feel like, unnecessary.
Kara, this is something I really didn't talk about. Kara, after her Earth 38 gets destroyed, the whole I understand the subplot of her wanting to restore her Earth, but it's like, what's the point of restoring your Earth if you haven't stopped the antimatter wave yet? It's like you need to focus. Like I understand she's distraught and but it's like I think that's a good thing. I don't care who you are. You would be messed up if your whole world just got wiped out. I think they just could have done it a little differently. So overall, yeah, I didn't hate it. It reminded me a lot, if I had to compare it to something. It reminded me of the Boo Saga from Dragon Ball Z, where the Boo Saga from Dragon Ball Z has a lot of memorable moments. You have the introduction of Gohan as like
the Mystic Saiyan is what they call it.
Well, they used to call it. Apparently now it's called Ultimate Gohan. They called it Mystic before, but anyway, you have that. You have the introduction of Boo. You have Vegeta's sacrifice, one of the most memorable in the series.
Yeah.
You have the introduction of Super Saiyan 3.
Yep.
You have the introduction of Fusion. You have that wonderful fight between Goku and Kid Buu towards the end of the saga with great animation and fight choreography in that. The art and animation was great. But the Boo Saga just overall had a very messy story. And it was just like...
there was a lot of plot hole. Yeah, I feel like the Boo... Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I do think that Crisis could have been better. I did enjoy the shit out of it, though. Yeah, but again, is like, could it have been better? Absolutely. Yeah. And maybe I'm kind of looking at it through a little bit of glittery eyes.
It's hard not to, because
yeah.
it's like it covers so much of DC's history, and connects all these other great shows and movies that we've grown up on or watched or have been attached to. The only ones it doesn't connect are like the old stuff, like the George Reeves Superman show,
sure.
like the old black and white stuff,
or the animated universe.
Yeah, which that would have been hard. Well, they just stuck to like the live action stuff, which I get it. That
How fucking weird did we need to get?
Oh, they get like Tim Bruce is like, can you get your illustrators in? We're gonna have Grant Gustin illustrated in like his style. He goes up to his Flash and like, why am I not as bulky as you? Like everyone's bulky in this universe. Everyone's like
everyone's got like a lot of pecs except for me.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, even Wally West in that universe was like, he had some fucking pecs. Like you were doing some push-ups, motherfucker. Like you were fucking
like, wait, you're Wally? Grant Gunson's looking at him like, you're Wally? Why aren't you black? He's like, why would I be black?
Yeah, and everybody's like, oh yeah, shit.
What's your name? Barry? Oh, it's my brother-in-law's name. What's like?
Yeah.
But yeah, so overall, for this to be the big one, the big crossover event, honestly, it let me down. It's not horrible. It's just, this is not what this is not. It was not worth
the way. Yeah, perhaps it's one of those things. Is like, if we look at it as a way to launch different things, they needed a crossover event to make sense of the new shit that they were bringing into. It kind of makes sense, but in terms of it being as big as what they had made it seem, I understand what you're saying. I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. As things go forward, I will say, because I am still looking forward to the second half of the Flash season, as I really enjoyed the first half.
Me too.
But the first half was all about the lead up to Crisis and Barry dealing with the fact that he's going to die soon. So I guess the second half is going to be Barry asking himself, oh, I still have a life. What do I do with it now, I guess? Maybe that's what they're going to do. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. The direction of that show has kind of been left to be a little bit of a secret, I guess. But I'm curious to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I got to get back into Black Lightning because I'm pretty behind on it. I still had like a few episodes left in season 2 to finish, and I haven't even started season 3. And seeing Cress Williams again as Jefferson Pierce and Black Lightning, the way he interacted with the heroes, and now knowing that Black Lightning is part of the same universe. I'm going to be interested to see how that affects that show. So I got to catch up on that.
Yeah, I need to get through season 1. I started watching it, and I think I just like got superhero burnout for a little bit and never got back into it. But it's on my list now to catch up on it and watch it because I did enjoy. I mean, I watched like the first half of season 1, and I was really enjoying it. It's a little bit of a slow start, but I want it was still a super fun show, and what the stuff that they were talking about was done really, really well.
Yeah.
So
and I do like, by the way, I'll say like the Black Lightning's new costume that he got in his current season. Even though I like the new costume better than the old one. The old one was
new costume looks dope.
Yeah. The old one was like the two big lightning bolts all lit up. It was just a little too for me. I like the new suit way better.
It's got a nice subtlety to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eager to see how the last 2 episodes of Arrow go down.
Yeah.
As I said before, I'm just done with Supergirl and Batwoman, which I've had problems with Supergirl for a long time, but I stuck with it because I like the actors, I like the way that they portray their characters, but overall the way they handle their themes and messages bug me.
Yeah.
And Batwoman, I'm just like, that show, like,
That's bad writing, man.
Yeah,
that show just I feel like that show just doesn't have good writing.
Yeah, it got renewed.
I might give Supergirl a shot just to see what they do with this new Lex Luthor thing. But I've been pretty disappointed with Supergirl as well.
Yeah. So we'll see how things go down. I mean, things going forward will bring up a lot of questions. Like, okay, so we know like the Kingdom Come Superman is back. He's alive. Is Earth 90 Flash alive again? Or are they going to keep him dead to honor his sacrifice?
I mean, we didn't really see him, so I'm assuming the sacrifice stays.
Which I think that was a good thing, because then it just cheapens like that. Because when he sacrificed himself in part 3, that was a great moment.
That was a big moment.
That was one of the most memorable moments of the crossover for me personally.
Yeah.
So I think they would keep it that way. And it's not like John Wesley Shipp can't be on the show again. We still have him as Jay Garrick from his Earth. And there was a couple seasons ago where Jay Garrick said that he retired and he trained somebody to replace him. It's still not been revealed who he's trained to replace him on his Earth. Maybe it's going to be an alternate version of Nora. I'm not sure. He did say it was a she.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That would be interesting to see.
Yeah. And if they're moving forward with The Flash, they might want to bring Nora back, but they also might want to do the twins.
The Tornado Twins.
Yeah. Dawn and Dawn.
Dawn and Dawn.
Dawn. Fuck it.
Dawn and Dawn. Dawn and Dawn.
Dawn and Dawn.
As Comic Historian likes to say when he brings up the Tornado Twins, your parents fucking hate you.
Yeah.
Like he's so upset about.
I love Comic Historian. If anyone's watching, if anybody from the Comic Historian channel's watching, hey guys, love your stuff.
What's up? Hey, you guys are great.
You guys are awesome. Yeah. So I mean, because this crossover, the merging of the universes brings up so many questions and so many new possibilities as to like what is the history now? Because as far as the people of this new Earth Prime, they're calling it Earth Prime. That Supergirl has always been around. Black Lightning has been around. These heroes. This is far from the first time these heroes have interacted with each other and teamed up. Because only so many people on Earth 1 before would have known about Supergirl because she's only popped over a few times. So I'm sure people would be aware of her, but then they'd be like, okay, where's that flying girl that pops up once a year? She just kind of goes away. But now she's a part of it, and so is Superman. All this history, does that mean the events of Supergirl Season 1 where the bad guys had that mind control stuff, where they mind controlled the world, did that happen now in the Flash's history? Or did it not? Or did a different event happen? It's going to be really interesting as to what they're going to go into as to what is the new Prime history as opposed to the old histories. And what does that mean moving forward? I mean, does that mean the Legion of Superheroes thing is different now? Or are the Legionnaires going to come back and be like, oh, things happen this way? And be like, oh, we remember it happening this way? I don't know. There's so much.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be a very interesting way to kind of move the shows forward. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. And it was still fun. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not horrible. I just it wasn't, once again, I don't mean to compare because they're separate things, but when Marvel did Infinity War and Endgame, that was very satisfying. That was very sad. Like Infinity War, I think is the better of those two. But
Very good films.
yes, yeah, very enjoyable. It pretty much gave you everything you wanted, and maybe some things you didn't know you wanted. They got their problems, I think Endgame's got a little bit. That's one. Endgame maybe with a few more problems than Infinity War, but both I'm very happy with them. So happy. I can't say the same thing about Crisis. I wish I could. I want to. I mean, we can go over again some of the good moments. Brandon Routh, Superman coming back, Earth 90 Flash sacrifice, the moments between Barry and Jefferson, Oliver's send-off. This Crisis is filled with very memorable moments, some emotional moments, some cool, holy shit moments. But that's the problem. It's filled with a lot of good moments, but not a cohesive story. And that's
a fair argument, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair point to bring up. I think they were trying to do a lot of different things all at once instead of focusing on the main plot, which I do think that also has that is a problem that I have with it is there was a little bit of meandering.
Yeah.
When you could, again, it's like you introduced Jim Corrigan as the Spectre, and that just kind of happened. So why did that fucking just happen? So there are some issues with it. Overall, I was entertained by it. I enjoyed it. It's still fun.
Yeah, and like we said, like I've been saying, with all the changes, this will keep superhero fans, Arrowverse fans, comic book fans talking for
a minute.
People are gonna be talking about this for a while. Holy crap! Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed that clip. If you want to see a full episode, I live stream over on Facebook. And of course, don't forget to click subscribe and check out some more videos.